Welcome to Mobile by May. I'm Steve May. I'm a licensed home builder, residential realtor, and I'm passionate about historic preservation. Our show features Mobile history, real estate, and transformation projects. And we thought, what better location than to film here? This is a prime example that combines all three of these elements together. Our mantra is that architecture is frozen music, and it really helps to inspire and elevate us. And I hope that you can join us as we breathe new life into old things. Y'all, what an incredibly happy day this is today. We are finishing up 355 Regina Avenue in Oakleigh Garden Historic District. This has been a passion project, a resurrection project, really. This house was going to be condemned and demolished, and we purchased it about 3 years ago. I've been working on it off and on ever since. And I have some of my best architectural salvage and treasures that I've saved for years that we have put into this house. Starting all the way at the front of the house, we have these bricks which were salvaged, and I had thousands of these old Mobile bricks, and we made a herringbone pattern sidewalk out of it as kind of an entrance into the home. And that's kind of the spirit of the whole project is to reuse, reimagine, utilize, and kind of breathe new life into old things, right? So even with the bricks, and then this is an awesome find here. These are actually limestone. This is from the courthouse, the federal courthouse downtown. I got a bunch of remnants, and I made a formal garden all the way around the house with a patio too. So again, this was stuff that hadn't been used and was going to be discarded, and we were able to incorporate it into the design of the house. And then even these railings up top, there was a house across the street that was demolished last year, and we saved all the railings and put those on this house because it was the same period. So this is an 1896 Victorian. And I want to talk for just a second about the company. My partner with Poeima, which is, it's a Greek word that means masterpiece. And so what we do is this is our 5th house in Oakleigh Garden Historic District. We've restored, we did 2 shotgun houses, 2 other cottages, moved one into Oakleigh Garden a couple years ago. It's going to be torn down. And so this one is about 2,400 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. And so even these urns were salvaged. So the whole house is stuff that's reused, and we've repurposed it. And I actually found these shutters. These are New Orleans shutters. And I found these in New Orleans and went and picked them up, and they fit the windows almost perfectly. So we had to do a little tweaking, but it's just very simple and clean. And so even what I love about this house is look at the dental molding over the front door. You've got the original front doors here. Can't wait to show you all the inside. This is like one of my most exciting projects I've ever done. Y'all, check out these floors. These were salvaged from an 1830s house that was torn down on Stanton Road about 4 years ago. Pulled all this flooring up and have been saving it and put it into this house because there were so many holes in the roof of this home that the water damage had ruined the floors and the walls, so we had to rebuild everything. But this is the original newel post, and I love this with the stair treads and the railing. And then they actually didn't have spindles up here, so we kind of used an old door and made some slats and did kind of a little contemporary change for child safety so nobody could fall off the edge. And you got that beautiful diamond pattern window up there. And so we incorporated some of my old doors, which I love these old doors. Look how tall these are, and put some vintage hardware on it. So this is a little powder room in here. Then we have storage. And I also took about a 250, 300-year-old shutter from France, and we made this into a storage unit. So, the thing with old houses is people say there's never enough storage. So what we like to try to do is blend the historic with the contemporary so that it flows, but it still keeps the historic integrity of the home. And so this is one of the best finds I've ever gotten. I got this in an estate sale a few years ago. This is an Italianate marble mantle, and this thing is just stunning. And look at the scallop shell in here. How did they do that? It's just perfection. And so this is really the heart of the house. So I was like, this needs to go in this house. This is the center of it, and I'm just in love with this mantle. We also have, these are the original pocket doors. Need a little original pocket doors in here. These windows in this front room actually open. We could pick these up and walk through out onto the porch. So it's going to be great for entertaining. And I actually, this piece of marble has been in my backyard for about 5 years. And so incorporated that into the transom. This still needs to be cleaned up. We're probably 98% done with the house. We still need some clean touch-up items. But this fireplace insert was from the house across the street that was torn down. So we're able to use it here with a mantel I found at an antique store to kind of help it blend. Now look at this floors, y'all. Look at how wide this is. It's 11 inches wide, these floors. So imagine how old the trees were and how big they were to be able to do that. And so what I like to try to do is frame the room into the kitchen by making these bookshelves. And then we made, similar to the columns on the front of the house, we made this as a surround. So it kind of pulls you in and keeps it, you know, really the same feel. And so this kitchen island took a door, is laid it on its side, and that's like wainscoting. And then if you look down here, this is a newel post that we cut vertically in half to frame the door to kind of give it some symmetry. My favorite thing in the whole house, y'all, next to that mantel, is this. In the kitchen, this is the original part of the mantel to this house that we couldn't save. It was so water damaged. But I saved this piece and did this on the front to kind of give it a little pop in here in the kitchen with this slate herringbone pattern style. Again, modern material, historic design, kind of blend the two. And then these windows here, these are Victorian windows I got from a different house, and I had to replace a bunch of them. I had a bunch of antique glass, so we used all the old glass in here. So it's just really, I think, gives it so much more light and so much more air in here with these 12-foot ceilings. It just feels so large. These doors are these are 10-foot tall doors from the 1850s, and we mounted these as barn doors. And if you look in here, this is the laundry room, and we left the chimney, kind of the bricks, kind of rustic. But then I've got this beautiful tiger oak, and these doors open, so you have the washer dryer under here. But it really goes with the period and the wood. So this house is just chock full of some of the most amazing woodwork. And if you look at the grain in that wood, you know, in that period of time, they were so smart about how they selected the pieces that they wanted to showcase. So that's why it has so much movement and things in it. So we have this other window here, and this other door goes in here. This is the pantry. Right now we just have a chest in here. We'll probably put some shelving or something in here for the pantry. You got the pantry and the laundry room. And then this old door here, this is another Victorian door I've had forever. I don't know if you can see, but you can see how the old glass kind of shimmers. And once we finish out back, I'm going to show y'all. That is the granite patio that came from the federal courthouse. So I've got a patio and then all the stepping stones around the entire house. And we still have one more coat of poly to put on the floors. So they're actually going to be even more beautiful than this. They look like mahogany, but they're just so rich with this old growth wood, which is so different from anything nowadays that you can even find. That's why I'm so really passionate about trying to save everything humanly possible. We actually even have a little side door here, goes under the stairs for a little storage unit. There's a little secret door in there. But we had to take all these spindles out, resand them, you know, the whole thing. So we've got the stairwell left and a little touch-up painting and stuff. And I'm going to take y'all upstairs next to show you what we've done up there. So if you can see, look at the, once we stain these stair treads, it'll pop even more. But look at the grain in all of these. Whoop. Sorry, I'm not as good with the gimbal as Lisa is. But all of this, we were missing some treads, so I had to use some other ones, and I had staved the original stair treads here from the 1830s house, and you see where the spindles went. So we'll fill all that in. I wanted to showcase this. Look at this beautiful view here of the upstairs. And this banister, it's got a scalloped edge on the bottom. And I love this diamond pattern window. If you can see the grain in that, see how rich that is? And then this was actually remnants of an old door that we did to make this more safe with the railing. So you come upstairs, you've got kind of the central landing. We've got all the original transoms, the trim, even most of the baseboards as well. That's all original. So these are some of the original floors to this house. We had to borrow from other rooms to make a complete room. This would be the primary bedroom with exposed brick. Still needs to be cleaned. We've got the primary bathroom back here, which we did, kind of contemporary in some respects, but also honoring the period, the Victorian era. So we've got wainscoting, we've got herringbone pattern, walk-in shower. This is an awesome door that a client of mine in real estate had in their garage for like 30 years, and I used that into the closet area. And then we took a Victorian window and added it up here to add some light, because it was kind of a little dark in here. So that's one bedroom. Then as we head into second bedroom, still have to hang some shutters. It's the original mantel. What I wanted to show up here is look at these floors. I don't know if you can tell, but these are actually beaded board floors. And we're able to utilize these as flooring by using, infill, wood plug infill there to make it work. So that's the second bathroom with the closet. And then this is original flooring in this room. And this is another room made out of beadboard. Look at how beautiful the patina is of that. And so we've got another bathroom with this penny tile, which is kind of another kind of Victorian slant. And this is an interesting room here, which we're going to use as a closet. But I've had some feedback that, this might be a cool home office to use too. So we may end up doing that, I'm not sure. It's nice to have different options. And then you go out upstairs onto the balcony, which in the process of hanging the last of these shutters up here. But what a great view you have. Again, these French blue New Orleans shutters downstairs and up, which is great for hurricanes because we can close them inside the windows. Wouldn't this be a great place to have a cup of coffee in the morning? We had also saved this palm tree, and I'm so glad that we did, because it was so close to the house, but it's been here for God knows how long. And so it's just super gratifying to get to the point where we're able to finish this house, because this thing, it has been so much work. And I love this view here. One last thing I wanted to show y'all is going outside, out back, and how taking some old raw materials like limestone and granite, and then using it, reimagining it to use it in a different space. And so look at this old knob. I had this door for years, and I saved this doorknob, and it fits perfectly. So out here we utilized the bricks we'd saved. The granite, made a pretty good sized granite patio back here, and then did like a formal garden, did some stepping stones. And we're gonna have a stoop over the back door, which will really kind of bring it out. So we're in the finishing stages of completing that. Pretty good sized yard here, really deep. And it's just fun finishing up these details. And we also have the limestone over here on the side. Thank you so much for watching Mobile by May. Please share with your friends and family. What we like to do is share our knowledge of architectural history and how to integrate that into homes. This is an example of a door that we simply laid on its side and made it part of a kitchen island with 2 newel posts. And so what I like to do is share different ways to reimagine spaces, and hope that you can join us, and please like, share, and subscribe.